to help you out into starting a portfolio, if you don't even know where to start and you're thinking, oh, but I have no idea what to draw, we're going to give you some quick, more concrete examples, and you can try doing some illustrations in this, and it will work for to put in your portfolio on your website.
And we already kind of touched on this a little bit, but I think we'll go into a little more detail.
Yeah. And the reason why we wanted to include this is because I remember when I was putting my portfolio together, the hardest thing was not so much drawing it, but thinking what to draw. What can I possibly do? And you sit there and you start doodling away, but it's a good idea to give yourself a story in your head.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way, because then you're going to include everything about that story in that illustration.
Yeah.
So when we say just draw kids, that's very broad. What do you mean? What kind of kids doing what? So draw kids like you see them. Draw them in the park.
Doing kid things.
Yes, think of a game. Think of a specific game that you have seen kids play at the park.
Hopscotch. Yeah.
There you go. Soccer,
Yeah.
frisbee, playing with a dog.
Climbing trees.
Think of a family having a picnic in the park. And when you draw this, draw the entire scene, the entire essence. We are going to talk more about what visual storytelling is, but at least this will get you started until we get to that episode. Mm-hmm. You want to draw the entire essence of that scene so that it's clear that it is, say, a family having a picnic in the park.
Mm-hmm. And you want to think about places you'll see children, because those are the topics that many children's books are about. So like school is super common for children's books. You'll see families in the park, like you said, or at the beach. These are places you see children a lot. And so, yeah, I want to cut that.
Now, one thing I have, no, you were right. Go to places where you see kids. Now, some people might not have children, and they might be like, "Oh, I don't have kids. Am I really suitable for this?" We have eyes. You can see. So go to places where children, it sounds very creepy, but go to places where children hang out. But also there's the internet, think of things. Everybody goes to school. The kids that you're drawing for
museums,
in the picture books go to school. They go to pre-K and kindergarten. So,
but that doesn't mean you should go to school and draw them.
Oh no, gosh, no.
Okay.
But what I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is, that this the age group that you're drawing for.
Yeah.
So look up online a kindergarten classroom. If you've never been to a kindergarten class, look it up. Look it up. What is it that they have in the classrooms?
You've probably, and it's very possible the last time you were in a kindergarten classroom is when you were in kindergarten. And that's totally fine, but kindergarten classrooms have changed. So yeah, it's good to look up what current classrooms look like. You can even watch YouTube videos of teachers and classrooms and
yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're right. The things that you'll find in them, I mean, it's no longer a blackboard with a globe, although you can include that because it's always like whimsical and
it's pretty traditional. Yeah,
it's a good idea to also include what the kids nowadays use.
Yeah,
like it's like the clothing. You want it to be timeless, but also within the current. So you are not going to be drawing them, unless you're doing a period piece, you're not going to be drawing the kids playing with a hoop and a stick.
A hoop and stick.
Yeah. So you want them to be a little bit more current for today's market.
Yeah.
You also want to include all possible races that you can do, and cultures and abilities.
Definitely. Diversity.
Yes. Do it well. If you don't know how to do it well, then don't do it. Study it, figure out how it is. Look at look at pictures of children and people, and see what makes them unique.
Mm-hmm. All children don't look the same.
No.
Just like all adults don't look the same.
Right. You want to have some action pieces too. So not just a child sitting down at a chair, staring at the camera, or eating a piece of cake. because that's very static. You also want action pieces. You want some children running.
Mm-hmm.
You want some children, and we keep saying children, but it could also be animals in
True.
action
Yes.
in the middle of a conversation, as if you took a little snapshot of a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're watching a scene in a movie and you paused it,
Yeah.
something is happening.
If you walk into a children's classroom, you're not going to see every child sitting at the desk looking at the teacher.
Right.
That never
That's
happens.
probably a teacher's dream, but it's not going to
Yeah.
be real.
You may see a couple looking at the teacher, but you're probably going to see some down at their desk writing, some making an airplane, one doing, they're all going to be doing different activities in the classroom. I'm not saying you need to show a full classroom of 26 children, but even if it's just a small snapshot, there are going to be different children doing different things in the scene.
Yeah, and that's something else too. You don't want to overwhelm the
Yeah.
audience. Like you're saying, you're not going to draw 26 children, but you can draw it in a way that it looks like a full classroom and not just three children. I mean,
Yeah.
three kids sitting at a desk and then call it a classroom. So you want to show like corners of other desks that are showing through. So um, now you say the word because I said it last time.
Yeah. So,
Anthropomorphize.
oh, anthropo I can't say it
Okay.
either. Anthropomorphized. Anthropomorphic is easier, but
Okay.
yeah, they're animals that look like people characteristics, which I enjoy drawing animals more than people. I don't know why, but it's just
And I like drawing to people more than animals, but we do them both. Yeah, it's weird, right? See, we're always the opposite.
yeah.
But you definitely want animals, especially if you're looking for fiction work. Um,
Yeah.
they're big in the market for that.
Yeah.
We talked about interactions, but also settings. So you want indoors and outdoors. So let's give you
Mm-hmm.
another example. So to help you actually get concrete examples for your portfolio, let's say we have a beach scene where you have the whole family, you know, and then when you think about it, include everything that you would be necessary when you go to the beach. You have an umbrella, you have the blankets, you have um the cooler with the food and the beach ball and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all those little details that will make
More
your illustration
interesting.
yeah, full. Your illustration is full of
Yeah.
detail that actually reads clearly.
And there's things in the sand. It's not just sand. There'll be shells, there'll
Yes.
be textures, there'll be maybe a sand castle. There's probably
Right.
a bucket with,
Right.
yeah, things you play with at the beach. And
Right.
water. There's probably water
Exactly.
at the
Yeah.
beach.
And interaction
Mm-hmm.
interaction between the characters. Now you also want to have interiors. You want to have and when we say interiors, we don't just mean inside a building.
In
Think in the
rooms,
kitchen, in the closet, in the
bedroom.
bathroom.
Yeah.
So there's so many different scenes that you can
In a
think about.
chair reading a book. Like where,
Yeah.
what would children be doing? Like,
So this is what
mm-hmm.
I would do. Like in that, we talked about how at the beginning I worked to make a portfolio and I was in a hurry and I put all the time. And the hardest part was this, like I say, coming up with the ideas for an illustration for the portfolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I literally did this. You go around the house and you look at a place in your house and imagine a scene happening there. So if you go to the kitchen,
Oh,
okay,
that's a good idea.
that's how I do it. Like I actually think of a story behind it. And I imagine, my child or a child. I had a little niece now, so I'll imagine my niece, and she is going to be baking and be specific. She's baking a cake. Why? Because it's her dog's birthday. So it's a dog cake.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog is wagging its tail because it's super happy because it can't wait for the cake to be done. And the kitchen's going to be a mess, or she cannot reach the sugar. Or think of the entire scenery and then draw that. And that helps so much because staring at a blank piece of paper
Yeah.
is grueling. You will sit there and doodle away and go nowhere. It's like spinning your wheels. So
Yeah.
having an entire story in your head, it makes it so much easier for when you sit down.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think and we need to cover, oh, could we cover quickly
Yeah.
things that are difficult to draw that should be included?
Sure,
Like,
sure.
but I'm not good with cities. Cities are hard and buildings are hard for me. So a lot of times I don't include those things, but they're important to have because you see them in children's books.
But if you don't like them, if you
True,
hate doing it, then don't put it there.
Because then you'll get asked to try it.
Because, okay, so let's say you don't like drawing cities.
Mm-hmm.
If you start including cities in your portfolio and you get a book
That's
is
all
in the
cities.
city, you're going to be the most miserable illustrator out there for
true.
42 pages
That's
of cities, of city scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So include what is needed, but within what you want to do. I mean, this is your job.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to, the same thing when you pick up a book, and this is more for, when you pick up a book, make sure you like the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how awful to have to draw something that you absolutely hate.
Oh, for self-publishing. Yeah, for clients. Yeah.
For anybody, even if it's traditional publishing, if it's a book that you're not, I mean, chances are if the art director already came and picked you and is giving you this job, chances are it's already something you do because it's already in your portfolio. And he's seen several samples of your work and knows you can do it, and you most likely will like to do it.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there are ones you don't connect with. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be offers that you might not.
Then you don't take those. In self-publishing, it's a little bit more about the budget and looking at your art style, and then if you've gotten stories that you're like,
you have
to
do them. As an illustrator, you have to connect with the work and feel comfortable. I have to feel comfortable drawing the subject matter,
right? So you can do the best work possible, and you're in it, and you're there's joy when you're doing it. I mean, from all the jobs out there, I think this is the best one ever. I mean, we get to draw, which is what we love to do, and we get to do that, but then enjoy it and do the work you like. So yeah, I agree with you. If you don't do cities, don't include them.
Don't do cities.
But do include interiors and outdoors that you feel comfortable doing.